More late night updates as a former U.S. Air Force pilot is arrested in Jeffersonville, and federal agents believe he was illegally working with Chinese military pilots. The Department of Justice says 65-year-old Gerald Eddie Brown Jr. conspired with foreign nationals and gave combat aircraft training to pilots in the Chinese Air Force. The DOJ says Brown started working with a co-conspirator to negotiate with a Chinese citizen and hack computer networks used by U.S. defense contractors. Investigators also claimed that the pair stole sensitive military data to then try to turn it over to the Chinese government. Brown is expected in federal court tomorrow.